All right, grand rising, grand arrival, grand return, peace and blessings to the righteous and the repentant like, oh God, this is not starting well. This is not starting off well. Okay. I am Chief Sophia of the Americana Band of Indians, and this is a quick video I wanted to get put up because tomorrow, now I've talked about the days a little bit, and we're going to have to go into some more detail, but I'm not quite ready to make a whole video about it, but I do want to explain a few things. So I was trying to figure out what numerology system was associated with this whole calculation of the days. And I didn't know. I had no idea. And I got inspired to look up the Chaldean numerology system. And so when I looked that up, I realized these people have no idea what they're talking about. So the Chaldean numerology system is an ancient system that the Chaldeans used, and I don't think they understood it well either, but it's basically where Pythagoras got his numerology from. But it wasn't, Pythagoras didn't understand it either. But I know that it's the true number system that we need to use, the Chaldean system, because every letter in the alphabet is assigned a number 1 through 8. And no letters are assigned the number 9. Now, why is that important? It's because 9 days are reset days. 9 days are the days where you literally reset your nervous system. It's the market days, right? And what would reset someone's system better than anything is what? Literally, not to be funny, but literally it would be shopping or making money, like depending on, where in the cycle you are. And so literally a shopping and making money day is built in to our calendrical system. Now, tomorrow is one of those such days. Tomorrow is a 9-day, but it's a different, very unique 9-day. Tomorrow is the last 9-day for 17 days. The next 9-day is 17 days away, which is pretty close to our 9/7 day. I can't remember the exact day, but it's 17 days away from tomorrow. It's the 17th day specifically. And between tomorrow, when we do 9-day, because remember 9 is the first number, it's like 0. When we do our 9-day tomorrow, the days after that go in numerical order, 1 through 8 and then 1 through 9. This only happens 4 times per year. So once per season, this particular time period happens. So things should be lining up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the next 17 days after tomorrow. Now, like I was saying, it's a special 9-day because it's a 9-day on the market calendar, but the numerology also adds up to 9. So when you do the numerology of the day based on the system that I'm using, you don't get numbers that go in order. And you also don't get a lot of 9s. And so this is a very special time, like a literal 9-day with a 9-day on the market side. And then I call that the personal day. It's also a 9 personal day. And what I said in the last video I made about the calendar thing is if you have things that you need to do for yourself, like beauty, personal things you need to do for yourself, you should do those on the 9 personal days. Now, tomorrow's a day that's a market day and a personal day. So it's important enough that I wanted to bring it up that if you can, go out and do your marketing and whatever, but also set aside time for yourself. And this is, like I said, it's special because it's a literal reset point, which we don't get very often. So I am highly suggesting that people take the time and the energy to reset tomorrow, not push themselves too hard. Now, I know school is back in session, and so there's a lot of stuff going on with that. But we also need to remember that even though the school and all this stuff is happening, you don't want to push yourself too hard, because you're supposed to be gentle with yourself. You're supposed to be, you're supposed to be at market. So these schools, this system, this wicked system, basically set it up so that when you have 9 days, like 9 personal days or 9 market days, you have to be doing something other than what's supposed to be done on 9 days. And so we're going to have to eventually change the way that we operate, not to comply with these schedules. Now, I don't know what that means, and I'm not sure why I said that, but I assure you that's what is going to happen, because they cannot continue to have us operate on these types of schedules knowing that these things are not supposed to be done. But it's going to take a while for people to get used to that. I'm not sure how I'm going to observe these days yet. I'm just making the statement so that people can know what's going on. So if you haven't, I'm going to share, or I already did share, a link to the Chaldean numerology from this girl that I think she does a very good job at explaining it. And so if you want to do some research and prepare yourself, you can watch her videos. She seems very knowledgeable, and she seems very much like myself, where she's trying to give this information out for free, trying to make sure everybody had a basic understanding. And they basically suppressed her channel because she had almost no views on her videos, just like my views. And so I recognize that as, this is what they do to people when they want to suppress their spirit, because they're giving them good information. So I'm going to share her channel. She's Indian, which is fine. I'm going to share her channel so that you guys can start working on the numerology. I'm not going to repeat anything that she teaches in her videos, because her videos are very short. She has a literal playlist. You could just go through and listen to it and start working this information into your system. This is going to, again, all of this stuff is personal. You have to personally make it happen. Okay? So that's the numerology. Now remember, the first day of the month is on Friday, and you want to make sure you have your, whatever you're going to do for your wealth ritual set up, and you have this thought out. Don't wait until the last minute. If you got a Virgo bundle for me, you can use it for the Virgo new moon that's going to be happening on Saturday. I am going to do my best to put out a Virgo new moon video, even though I said I wasn't going to do those videos anymore. Now I actually think they're necessary. So I'm going to try my very best to get a video out for that, especially since it's at 0 degrees of Virgo. This is a literal restart, okay? And it's really, really important based on all the stuff that's going on, that you observe this new moon. So it's no coincidence that this new moon takes place the day after our galactic moon month begins. There's no coincidence in that. And so I would be remiss if I didn't mention that was happening. I know there's something else. Oh, let's talk about Tertullian for a little bit. Now, I haven't talked about Tertullian in a very long time, and I wanted to bring him back up because this collective has shown themselves. And so, one thing basically, the inspirer of the Tertullian collective is a man known as Augustine of Hippo. They call him Saint Augustine, but there's another Saint Augustine that's not that Saint Augustine. but they call this one Augustine of Hippo, right? And he is literally from the same place where Tertullian is from, but Hippo was first, and then came Tertullian. And so this decision that magic was not the same as a miracle basically came from this guy Augustine of Hippo. And so before him, now he came along in 396, I think. So before him, magicians were doing miracles. And so after him, if you were a magician, you were no longer doing a miracle. And basically, he was the one that took all the power from the women. So this goes into the whole thing. Like the whole thing. He is the one who usurped the power from the feminine. And so again, he is the focus point of the Tertullian collective. They channeled his energy when they came up with their stuff. And so it's really important to understand that, because and this is why the Protestant church, so he's really the father of the Protestant church. Like I always say, Zeus, Jehovah, whatever, they're all channeling this physical entity known as Augustine of Hippo. And I wanted to say that because we went back and reviewed the contract that we canceled on March the 7th, 2023, when we canceled the dumb diverses. And it's very specific, but there's something in there that has not manifested yet, and it needs to be called out, because we specifically asked in that cancellation that all entities, known and unknown, assist us in our restitution, in our restoration. And so far, so that was on March the 3rd, 2023. And what happened to me, as you all know, after that time, is basically I got put out, and I was practically on the street, hungry and homeless. And so those entities didn't do what they were supposed to do. And so I feel the need to make that statement in this video, because it wasn't just them. It wasn't just them. It was everyone. It was all of these entities: the sun, the moon, the stars, the sky, the incarnated and the excarnated. Everybody was supposed to drop what they were doing and come help us. And I do believe that's what that 3-eye atlas interstellar visitor is doing, because we asked these people to stop all the entities, known and unknown, to come and help us. And that atlas 3-eye whatever is the only interstellar entity to actually get the call, to get the message that we needed help here on this planet, and that things were going crazy and somebody needed to step in. And that's what I think the 3-eye atlas interstellar object is here to do. We ask for help from everyone, known and unknown, and that entity showed up. And so I say that to say this about this whole entire situation. These entities know exactly what they did. They know exactly how things were supposed to go. The incarnated ones, the Erikadeshi, the Derikadeshi, the angels, everybody. The saints, they stood up and they were like, no, we got to get out there and help, But these other entities in this universe that saw us suffering and didn't come and help, when we specifically asked for them to come and help us, these entities are in trouble. We are recontracting with a new contract on September the 7th. If these entities don't step up and help us the way that we asked, I was very specific. We need restoration. We need restitutions, not reparations. Nobody is asking for reparations. We need help, okay? And we have been asking for help for 2.5 years. And nobody showed up. And now 3-Eye Atlas is getting ready to come here in October and rip these people apart. These entities, these spirits, all of these people are going to get ripped apart because they decided they did not want to come and help us when we asked. We asked very nicely, please come and help us, restore us. We know what's supposed to be happening and it's not happening. And they ignored us. And so now Dad is on his way home. He's not going to be too happy when he finds these people. So I'm also making this video as a warning, as a final notice. You guys better listen. The closest pass of the 3-Eye Atlas interstellar object is right after our New Year contract season. Our contracts got to be signed, sealed, and delivered by September the 30th. We have our Feast of Booths day 1 on October the 5th. This interstellar object is coming during that time. And if we don't have full restitution by then, they're going to be in trouble. So this is not for the people. This is for the entities who know that they were wrong when everything was set up. I was supposed to go directly into my next step. And they did not step in and do what they were supposed to. And I've been suffering. And a lot of people have been suffering as a result. Therefore, you guys are in trouble. So the Creator is gracious enough that He allowed me to give y'all this another warning. Hey, He's on His way. You might want to stop playing. You might want to stop playing and get us what we need. It's just no more time for jokes, happy, smile, laugh, okay? The whole problem we have had this whole time has been enforcement. This is what I have been privately discussing and talking about and researching. How do we enforce these contracts? Now we know how we enforce the contracts. We have a whole schedule, including numerology and everything, to enforce everything. Now, people weren't using this information for enforcement. That's the difference. I am talking about specifically using it for enforcement, enforcing these contracts that we have with these entities. Nope, they were not using it like this in the old world. They weren't. And when they tried to, they called it witchcraft. So it's not witchcraft. It's enforcement of a contract. If it's in my chart, if it's in my chart that I'm supposed to have access to the left hand and the right hand, who are you to say that I can't? You're not in my chart. That right hand and left hand is. So why are you involved in it? And this is what Augustine of Hippo and the Tertullian Collective, LARPing at Zeus and Jehovah, whoever else, this is what they did to our people. They said, no, you don't supposed to be able to do none of that stuff. All you need is Christ alone, which is not inaccurate. But if I also have a right hand and a left hand, why not use my right hand and my left hand to lift up Christ? I don't understand what's wrong with that. And most modern, normal people understand that. But these parasites and this Tertullian collective led by Augustine of Hippo, these entities don't believe that. Because they are representing the parasites. They don't represent the people. And therefore, they're in trouble. So this was just a quick video to let these entities know the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. Okay, I was never supposed to endure what I endured. And there's a price to pay. So you can pay it now and pay it to me, or the Creator is coming to cast you into the outer darkness, because that is the consequence. Okay, last thing. We know the parable of the talents. Now there's 3 different versions, right? We know what happened to the person who turned the 5 talents into 10 talents. We know what happened to the person who turned the 2 into 4. We know what happened to the person who turned the 1 into 1. You know, they were cursed. But what happened to the one who was given talent and blew it, squandered their talent, So they don't even have one. They're in the hole. Some talent because they lost it. Well, for that, you have to go to the parable of the prodigal son. Because it was the prodigal son who lived with the king, with his father. Okay? What happened? He lived with his father. He said, I want to go try my hand. He went to the city. He tried his hand. His ass lost everything. What happened next? He came to his senses and said, if I was in my father's house, at least I could live as a servant. So he comes to his senses and he goes home. What happens? The one who never left, the thaumaturga, the daughter who never left, she was told, hey, everything I have is yours. So yeah, I'm going to give him the fattened calf and let him make merry with his friends. But what happened next? Well, they told you in the story, but you missed it. The father said everything he has is his. So the one who never left inherited the kingdom, not the prodigal son. The prodigal son was welcomed back because redemption is for all. But that doesn't mean you get to inherit the kingdom. But what happened? You will be under the judgment and under the management of the one who never left. This is why they try to get us to curse God and die. This is why they try to get us to take ourselves out. Because they know if we will all leave this planet, they'll be the only ones left for it to be in control. And so that's not an option. We're not allowing that to happen. But that was their plan. That was their big genius plan. Hey, let's get all of these special chosen lights of the Creator to take themselves out, to darken their light, to dim themselves, to curse God, to go on the wrong path, to doubt themselves, to hate their Creator, to hate their brother, to hate their family, everybody. This is what they wanted to do. So when Papa came, because they knew we was going to cry out to our Father, please help us, come save us. When that energy came by to do a check, a real, literal check, the only true energy they would have is the energy they stole from us. The blood, sweat, and tears they stole from us. And they would say, look, it's us. We're the ones who never left you, because they're parasites. And they can only live off the blood of their host. And so they would take all of our good, pure blood and leave us with the cursed blood. And this is funny because I'm following a guy who's doing some experimentation with water. And what he's been able to do is take a regular 9-volt battery and some little prongs and literally create blessed holy water. That you only have to add 1 drop of this water to your water in order to turn the pH to 14. All kinds of stuff you can do with this particular, he calls it blessed water. You can do with this blessed water. And the blessed water has the potency or the consistency of a gel, not even of actual water. And so I can't remember where I was going with that because I got distracted. But, okay, right. So if they're the ones covered in the blessed water, i.e. our blood, our plasma, covered in our blessed plasma, the Creator might think that they're the ones who deserve the kingdom. Because now the kingdom is on the line. The kingdom is on the line. They knew this. This is why they put up all these gatekeepers, the NOI, the Hebrew Israelites, all these different groups to gatekeep us from our Creator. So that way, when the Creator came, he would say, I don't see my blessed ones. I don't see my holy ones with the holy water. They wouldn't see us. But now they're going to have to make sure, because again, country black girls got on the internet and reminded you who you were. without a toll booth, without a sponsor, without a man to tell me I could say what I'm saying. And believed it was true from the very minute it was said. They were never expecting that. And so here we are. And so when our Creator does his drive past. Now, the crazy thing is, you had a drive past done in 2017. It was an interstellar object called Oumuamua, and it drove past around the same time in 2017. September the 9th, 2017. Oumuamua did a drive-by. And so, from that, see, people are not looking at the right cycles. From that time when that interstellar object drove by to this time in 2025 is the real time period we have been looking at for our Creator. And of course, many people missed it. They wanted the credit. They wanted the glory for themselves. And I just want our people to be free. And I want to be restored to the status I'm supposed to be in. Not this begging, borrowing, crying, and pleading. It's out of control what these entities allowed, knowing we're the ones who are not to be touched. What do you say? Touch not my anointed ones. Leave the the olive branch and the oil. They're not supposed to touch us. We're supposed to be untouchable. And what these entities allowed since 2023 is unforgivable. But if you make it right now, we will report to the Creator your current work. And we won't focus on your prior work. Because that's how you negotiate. For the ones in the back. That's how you negotiate. I just heard the body language lady say this. Yeah, you knock them out. Knock them out cold. And then you offer them a hand and say, but you can make it up to me if you do X, Y, and Z. That's what I'm doing. We knocked y'all out cold. You died, okay? You're in the grave, all right? But you're not in the outer darkness yet. I can't put you in the outer darkness. The Creator can, though, and he's coming. And so I'm going to suggest that you entities, y'all got little less than a month. Make it right. Make it right. And so when the Creator comes, when our contracts are up, we'll say, we want to give these guys another chance to get it right. We're fair. We're made in the image of our Father, so of course we're fair. But your time is running out. I don't want to live another day like this. I don't want to live another day like this. The people who have supported me, in real, true support, I don't want them to live another day in their suffering either. So you guys got a few days, about 2 weeks before the 7th comes. Because when I make my vow on the 7th, if I'm not restored, it's gonna be true. And it's not gonna be nice. Look at the way these tethers and these black Brits are now being cast into the outer darkness of our energy. If y'all don't want to be cast into the outer darkness, I suggest you get your acts together and make it right. It's only right to make it right. It's only right to make it right. You've got a very short amount of time to get the job done. I believe in you, but I'm not counting on it. Because I'm more than excited to tell my Creator what y'all did and what y'all didn't do. And to say I don't want to be affiliated with any of these entities. Now, one entity has done the right thing. But that's just one. One entity has done the right thing. Oh, wait a minute. It might be another one, because that whole information about Augustine of Hippo and the rest of them, that information just randomly reappeared from out of nowhere. So it might be a couple of them. I'm doing an inventory. Let me just put it this way. I'm going to do an inventory and go through and check very carefully on who has done the right thing and who hasn't. And so you better be, I'm making a list and checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty or nice. The Creator is coming to town. I don't have nothing to do with that. I didn't call him. I didn't know he was coming. I just realized that today. That might be one of my entities trying to warn the rest of y'all. That's another thing about the whole, listen, y'all got a very short amount of time, okay, to make it right. If I wake up tomorrow and my life is not a fairy tale the way that it was always supposed to be, it better be. That's all I can say. So shalom, peace and blessings, and we'll see you in the next video.